Today we're flying out a new Battle Pass vehicle, the ITP, and while it's pretty competitive, there are some very big flaws with the vehicle that I think you should know about before taking it out. The first one will be the engine. The engine overheats extremely badly, and I do advise you to use mech whenever you can. The second is the turn rate, as well as the compression and the stall speed. The turn rate between 400 and 600 kph is pretty alright, and you do keep a lot of your energy. The problem is if you go outside of that speed range, you turn into a little bit of a boat, and at high speed you turn into a lawn dart, and I don't advise you to do that. The benefit is, whenever you get guns on target, they mostly just die because you have 2 Shivaks, which aren't the best, but you have 200 rounds per gun, and then you have 50 rounds of the 37, and these are the same shells as the 37 you find on the Yak-9T. Same velocity, same kind of damage. The only difference is that this thing overheats quicker, just like the engine actually, ironically enough, and the fire rate is a little bit lower, but that doesn't really matter. You have 50 rounds, you can kind of spam it away, and the gun hits extremely hard. So you have a plane that's kind of tedious to get guns on with people, because you don't have the best kind of maneuverability, but whenever you do hit someone, they mostly just blow up, and the velocity of this 37 is very high, so you don't really have to pull much lead, and this is a benefit. It kind of alleviates the problem of you not turning very well. And you do have to keep in mind, as I said before, you keep the most amount of energy that you have. The climb rate might not be amazing, it's definitely competitive, it's not amazing, but all the energy that you do have will mostly stay with you for a pretty long time. So you want to be above people in this thing, because once you get above people, you can stall them out, you can use your energy retention, you can use your decent to good climb rate to stall people out. The problem is that if you go too fast, you will land up. So you really have to pick your targets, pick the guys you can kill quickly, and then go back up, or extend away, whatever you have to do, it depends on the situation of course, and then go for the next guy. And right here, there's a P63, a P51, and then there's a 109 F4, and I want to kill the F4 first. But the F4 is so steep below me that if I go for him I will rip and I will get no kills. So instead I will go for the P51 first, shoot a few rounds, make sure that he dies. I'm compressing a little bit. And you can see that the turn rate isn't completely horrible, but it's definitely worse than most of the guys you face. So after going in a very shallow climb, getting a lot of distance as well as altitude on this guy, I'm still going 400, he's probably going at around the same speed. The only difference is that I'm over a kilometer above him. So I don't want to go straight up, because it kind of presents him a shot, not an easy one, but going horizontal here makes it so that he literally can't get his nose on me. I drop back over, he's hanging from the air, and at this point it doesn't really matter what he does anymore, because he's simply way too slow. P63 coming in, tries to go head on. I don't really want to take that, he has 50 kills, I have way more energy. Do never take a head on if you have more energy than someone. Unless of course you're in a very bad plane. But the situation I'm in here right now is completely winnable. And I'm just going to be spamming my 37 here. I have 50 rounds, that one got very close but he dodged it last second. I'm just going to keep shooting. Put some pressure on him, turn my web off because I don't want to overheat and I don't want to overcompress, and he goes into a very gradual turn. Hit him about 40 more times and then he finally falls apart. And I really wish I could show you some different kind of gameplay, because this is basically picking apart people on the deck, and unfortunately so, I just can't get any better gameplay than this right now. I got about 60 kills in the plane, I did about what, 20 games or something, and I only have like 2 games that I think are worth showing you. And I'll show you some bomber kills at the end, because I know you people like that kind of stuff. But in terms of carrying, it didn't really happen, because every time I was about 4 to 5 kilometers, the enemy team would already be halfway dead, and my team would be completely alive. So for me to get more than 2 kills, and I'm of course talking about kills that I think are worth showing, it's kind of hard to do when your entire team is ganging up on the same guy you're shooting at. It kind of becomes a turkey shoot and not so much a showcase of the plane. And right now I'm a P51, it's a 20mm variant, not the best kind of plane, I'm diving on him. I think, do I shoot him? I just shoot one shell. If I missed, I can stall him out, and then I can show you what this thing can do. I have a lot more energy than this guy, but you can see that the turn rate isn't the best. The stall isn't very good, but the flaps are very good, and you can see that I'm trying to keep it above 200 kph, so I can just rotate over. He's stalled out at this point. I missed that one somehow, missed that one again, and the 37 just completely breaks his plane in half. And for game number 2, we're coming in, there's 3 people on the deck. That's 109 F4, I can tell because of the American star, it's a premium, there's only one American premium 109. FU, not sure which one, and a Spitfire that seems to be damaged, but it's either water or fuel, can't really tell because of the sunset, but I'm not gonna pretend he is gonna be very badly damaged. I'm just gonna pretend like he is completely functional, so I'm not going to die to him. I'm spraying a little bit on the F4, I'm going very fast, I'm compressing a little bit, kind of hard to aim, kind of hard to roll. He's basically stalled out, so I'm not gonna say I want to conserve my ammo, because I have 50 rounds left for about, well, these 3 guys. Well, now it's these 3, there was a 4th one, but he just died as well. Going for the Spitfire, because he's about to kill the ITP. Don't manage to pull into that one, he's gonna pull into me, so I just extend now and go for the FU. And that's only because he presented himself, and now I go very steep to stall the Spitfire out. If he tries to follow this up, he will die instantly, which is exactly what he did. I pull out of his guns, and then I start looping horizontally to keep some speed, keep some turn rate, so he doesn't get an easy shot. He stalls out, I turn over, he's still shooting for some reason, 37 to the wingtip, and that's him out of the match as well. Actually forgot I had this clip, so here you go, FU. Just to show you a little bit of maneuverability and how hard it is actually to get your guns on people. FU1D isn't the best kind of turner, but you can tell that I'm actually struggling to turn inside of him. I have more energy than him. I should have a very easy time here, but you can tell that I'm not having the easiest time in the world. Not sure why he's shooting, because that's nowhere near me. Maybe he's trying to gun break, let's just call it that. And again, look at his stall, the nose just wants to go down. And that can really screw you over at low speeds. Right now I'm at very high altitude, I have more energy and I have the position, so I didn't really feel too bad about doing it. He stalled out basically, 37 right in the engine, he's on fire. But he's going to continue to actually outturn me. He rolls back over very slowly, and you can tell that I can't get my nose where I want it to go. I'm not even going that slow, I'm not even going that fast. I'm going at a very reasonable speed on which you should be the most maneuverable. And you can tell that it's just not very easy for me to get my guns on target. At this point he's so badly damaged, it doesn't matter anymore though, and I take his tail clean off. And now lastly here I got a 6 kill game, but only 2 fighters and 4 bombers. So I'm just gonna play that out and then show you some more snipes, because you know, it's 37, this plane is about the guns, so why not show you anyway. P-47 is pitching up for me. He's not gonna be able to get this shot in. I go horizontal for a little bit, so that if he tries to pitch up for me, I'm conserving my energy this way, I'm conserving my turn rate, and if he tries to follow me up, then he just dies. He's going very, very slow right here, and he's trying to turn, not really working out for him, because he's simply just that slow. I have plenty of ammo, P-47 is something I definitely want to kill. I don't have the turn rate to get a shot in on him, he's turning away from me for some reason, then he turns back in. And that's just a very easy ticket to get yourself killed. And then he goes vertical too, to make it even easier for me. Hit number 1, hit number 2, and he's out of the game. A6M coming in, that's a plane I don't really want to fight. So I'm hoping that he does a stupid thing, so I can kill him very quickly. I'm just climbing over him, presenting a very big target, hoping he's gonna pitch up for me. And if he does, then he is basically dead. But of course he has to do it. And it's still a 0, so he can just easily dive away after he pitched up for me. And then he will be very hard to hit. But he's going horizontally, he's going very slow, he tries to pitch back up. It's simply not happening. Very slow target. Doesn't turn that well anymore when you're going 200 kph. And he just becomes a sitting duck. And the rest of the game looked a bit like this. Shooting BVs from 2 kilometers away. Crit number 1, shoot more rounds. Kill him. On to the next one. BV, I repaired and landed by the way in the meantime. Get a hit, shoot his tail off. Come back in over here. Get a lot of hits on this guy. I was trying to break his tail off. Hit his wing as well. There comes the flap. Didn't kill him either. Shoot a couple more 37s in the tail until it finally breaks off. Last guy. Key 102. Not very dangerous. 37 hit number 1. Turn after him. He's not going to outturn me. I mean, he's a twin engine bomber. Not the hardest shot. Only 400 meters. Hit. Shoot again. Hit. Wing gone. And I'm sorry for the lack of actual content, because the last one was the BB1, was just a shit pose. This one is kind of a quick overview. It's not as in-depth as I'd like it to be, but that's just because I didn't get the footage that I wanted. And I won't get this plane anytime soon again, so I figured I'll just do a short video on this thing. This week, all week, I've just been feeling very under the weather, very demotivated, so I figured I'd do a quick overview on this one, because I know people are curious about the plane. And then go a little bit more in depth when I feel like it again, because then I can actually talk about what's happening. I tried to do it just now on the F-25 video I was going to make, but I I just couldn't talk. I just sat there, was kind of empty, so I figured I'd do an overview on this thing because I can just talk about the plane and not so much about what's going on, which is a lot easier for me. And to wrap up this horrible week, there's a 2.1 kilometer spark. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you all very soon with probably a jet video on the F9, F8, F25 or maybe N1K. I'm not too sure yet, but we'll see when we get there. Maybe another filler video, but at least next week we should be picking it up again. Have a nice weekend and see you all soon.